Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast. And today we have a special exclusive player spotlight with this young man sitting next to me from Timberland High School, Richie Swain. Glad to have you with us, man.
Thank you for having me. It's totally cool. It's really cool.
No, this is what I love our player spotlights because, you know, gives us a chance to get to know you. We saw you last year on the bump, and you know, we talked for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But you know, get a chance to get to know you a little bit. Senior year, right?
Yeah,
Going out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. Honestly, we got a lot of people coming back too. So,
You know, you've got dudes all over that squad.
yeah, everywhere, every corner, and then our lineup is just right after one after another. Like it's gonna be a really good year. I'm excited.
I'm looking forward. We're gonna get into that in a minute here.
Yeah.
All right. First, I always like to start with elementary school, middle school. You know, youth baseball to me is you're still a youth. I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're talking about growing up, playing at 9, 10, 11, 12, how old were you when you started?
4 or 5. I lived out in Florissant, and my parents just put me in like a rec league, and you know I loved it. But once we moved out to Winsville, I was like when I started taking baseball a little bit more like I want this, and that was with like New Melly Tigers. It wasn't a club team. It was just me and like all the Hal guys.
The New Melly Tigers.
Yeah,
I remember that
It was
team.
a big thing. We were all like 7 to 12 years. It was awesome.
I think we interviewed you guys way back in the day.
Yeah, probably. We did go to a lot of Game 7 and GMB.
Yes. Because in fact, we had oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the gentleman, the coach's name, because we had him on the show a couple times.
It was Dave Burke, Don Lovelady,
Yeah.
Charlie Bogard, and what was the fourth?
I think it was Dave Burke.
Yeah, he was the head
quite a bit.
coach.
Yeah.
Dave was the head coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that team. You guys were very good.
No, yeah, we had everybody. It was Colin, Shane, Eli, Berkey, Bogey, me, Jackson, Leo, and then we had a couple of Eli. I don't know if I said Eli. It was actually a lot of us, really, though.
Man,
So,
that's pretty good. I want you to grab that microphone, and I want to point it a little bit more at you there. There
Okay.
we go.
sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're fine. So, growing up playing with the New Melly Tigers, you know, you knew that a lot of these guys you were more than likely going to play against in high school. Did you ever think about that, or did you just go out and play ball?
Yeah, a little bit. We thought about it. I remember just being young and wanting to move the house so bad. But
Don't tell nobody.
no, I know, but my parents never let me. But I mean, I'm glad I didn't. I got to meet a lot more people and made a lot of good friends, like Carson and Hayden, especially, and then just all the Timberland guys. So
Yeah.
it was good for me.
What was that experience like with those coaches? Did that, it's always interesting because I believe that, when you're in that age group, that's a lot of definitive characteristics in how you play baseball. And what was it like? And what did those coaches help you with?
It was just it was honestly really serious from the beginning. They made it clear, you're young enough to have fun, but as you get older, it's just going to keep getting more harder and harder. And I think they were really good at explaining us the basics of the game at the beginning and then getting into more depth as time went on. So, I really feel like those guys set a lot of us up in the position to where we are today on starting the skill sets we have and the love for our game. So
Very good. And snow cones, right?
yeah, double plays were snow cones. So
Is that right?
it was. We in the Chesterfield League, anytime we'd turn a double play, we'd get those little blue or red things. One of the coaches or someone would get us on. So
I love it. I love that. See, because it's got to be some fun.
Yeah.
Right? That's fun. I love that stuff. Talk to us about, your parents. I know that, they wouldn't let you move to the Howell. They said, no, we're not moving to the Howell district. So that's good.
yeah.
What role did they play in how you grew up that way? And I'm sure the support and the things, mom's always driving you to practice, right?
Yeah, no, so many sacrifices just between you know, just the car rides, and then also sometimes even like plane rides. Like it was crazy. Um,
Plane rides.
like yeah, especially throughout the last couple of years, but even through younger, not really like 8 or 9 U, but like like freshman year, I guess. But it's just a sacrifice, really. The time, the money, the effort, one of them having to go with me and then the other one staying with my siblings.
Sure.
So, like, that's just a really big thing that came from them.
When you stopped playing with the Tigers, the Numeli Tigers, where'd you go?
I went to the prospects for a year and then I went to the futures and then I landed at GBA my freshman year
Mm-hmm.
and I had finished there until now. But, I was with the prospects. I played for Roland Thomas for, my 12 and 13U season. 14 year I was with Futures, and I was with Ethan Chiodini on that team. And then there was a couple other guys. But and then I went to GBA to get back with all the How guys, so it was cool. um, just getting back.
What did those coaches? How did they impact you? After you went on, you were at with the futures and the prospects. What did you gain from that?
Just like when you're in that age, you're starting to like get into like the heavier trainings, like not heavy, but you're getting introduced to like weightlifting and like outside of practice things like speed and agility. And those habits were built out of those clubs. So I think them introducing me to those things were one of the bigger things that came from those teams. And then, GBA kind of took that to the next level for 4 years.
Absolutely. So, did having these experience, what did they take you when you started getting into high school baseball? Did you feel prepared when you went into high school baseball after these elementary, middle school experiences with these coaches? Did you feel prepared?
Yeah, no, I was ready. That's kind of why me and my family picked the places where I went. Everything had a purpose, and it was all preparation for high school, and then high school is preparation for college, and then same thing with college and pro. So, it's just like setting yourself up for the next stage.
Was your mom and dad college athletes?
No, no, they weren't. My dad was into golf and hockey in high school, but then he went off to fire academy. So,
Oh, there you go.
yeah,
Golf, man, I love playing.
yeah, no, he's pretty good at
You
it.
play any golf?
I am, but I'm horrible. I'm pretty bad.
So do you go out and play golf with your dad?
Not my dad. Oh, I went with him a couple of times, but when I go out, it's really with Colin and Charlie and Shane and those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm always the one losing all the balls and stuff, so
That's all right.
it's pretty bad.
Somebody's got to drive the car,
Yeah,
right?
no, it's bad. I'm there to be a caddy, basically.
Oh man, high school baseball, freshman year, you're at Timberland.
Yeah.
Who was your head coach there, freshman ball?
I was on JV, and that was Coach
JV.
Holman.
Okay.
He was he was the JV coach at the time. It was his first year at Timberland too, so it was kind of like learning the program for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But we were just more worried about like our team and not like everyone else, and I think that was kind of good for us. JV, it was the seniors that graduated last year, and then freshmen that made it were me, Cam, Zay, Carson, Hayden, and then like I said, the couple seniors that left last year. But that was Bob's first high school experience with Timberland.
Were you at that time? Were you just thinking about pitching only, or were you playing a little more?
My freshman year, I was a two-way. I played first and then a little bit of outfield. But summer ball came around. I hit a little bit more, but towards the end, going into a sophomore year, my GBA coaches were like, "We're taking this out of your hands. Like this isn't an option anymore."
Were you throwing that hard at that time?
Sophomore year, I was at like 90. I was topping 90, probably sitting 88.
Were you really?
Yeah. We went to Arizona, and Specs went to Arizona, and that's where I hit my first 90. And that's kind of like around the time that took the bat from me.
Now I want to ask you this, and because everybody sees the stuff on social media,
Yeah.
and it pops up, and you do the big run at some, the pull downs
Yeah.
and the things, and everybody sees 95. Oh my God, he's throwing 95.
Mm.
You're not really throwing 95. but you can throw it that hard.
Yeah.
What is that process like for you? Do you think about those things and looking at that, or where's your mindset when you're in that position, you're what, 15, 16 years old, what's your concern? Do you think about throwing 90, or do you just think about the process of trying to get better?
Well, when you're younger, honestly, like I was chasing the numbers, but as you get older, you kind of mature and you realize the number is it's flattering and all, but the main focus on that is training your body to move fastly and be able to move that fast. So, getting older, you understand the process a little bit better, and it's not about the number really. It's just about how you can handle it and how can you transfer that energy and that speed over to the in-game situations. So,
Do you think that, when you were a sophomore or a freshman, sophomore, probably, I think you threw varsity as a sophomore
yeah.
too, didn't you? So a freshman, you're on the JV. Did you have a lot of success on the JV squad pitching?
I was, really 50-50. I was either really good or, like hitting the backstop.
Was
It
it
was
because you were chasing the
Yeah, I
number?
was chasing numbers. I was young and dumb, just throwing as hard as I could.
Well, and we all know velocity matters, right?
Yeah, there's
It
a point
does.
where it does, but then like scouts like they see colleges, they'll see this guy throws 88 as a freshman, but he's hit four batters in a row and the backstop's got a bruise. So
Guys are doing the cha cha around the
yeah,
bases,
no,
right?
but yeah, it's kind of how freshman year was. It was either strikeout, 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 or hit by pitch, walk, hit by pitch. So.
What'd you learn from that?
Just honestly just filling the role that you can. It's velo's cool and all, but you gotta get yourself into a better position.
Did you realize that yourself, or did somebody really kind of like go, "Hey, Richie, what do we got?"
Kind of both. Someone was like, a couple coaches were like, "Dude, you gotta focus on the strike zone, obviously." But just on the mound, you kind of feel it in yourself. You're like, I look really weird hitting all these guys and not really doing my job.
I hope you don't break an arm or
Yeah.
something, right? Did you feel bad hitting the guys?
I mean, yeah, but like you're in the batter's spot. You got a helmet. You're fine.
Well, I've always had one of my nephews from many, many years ago threw hard,
Yeah.
like that. And he's like, well, it's baseball 101. Get out of the way if you don't want to get
You
hit.
better move.
Sometimes at that speed, it's hard to get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's true. It is what it is. Coaches, that are helping, that were in that time, who are helping you through this process, who were they and what were they talking to you about at that time?
I had a lot of people in my corner with me, and that kind of at that time, I didn't really have Eric with me yet, so I had Brett, Cody. At the time, I had Noah before he went off to the Red Sox, and then GBA. I had Coach Potter, I had Jake Depew, I had Seth, I had a bunch, Coach Lord. I had a bunch of people with me, and it was always like the same thing. But I trusted those guys, and I really put my faith in them, and they kind of got me where I am today.
The process of growing, once you hit that freshman and you're starting, people are seeing, you've got the velocity to throw at another level.
Mm.
What what starts, and when you're talking about that kind of thing, when you go to some of these events and you start looking and playing at that level, do you feel like, when did you start to feel like you belonged there?
My parents never really let me do showcases, so my freshman year I had a rule like I could do one a year, and my freshman year I did one. Kind of got introduced to the showcase world. Did really good. I got my first ranking, and I was flattered, but I was like, this is not what I like. I want to be higher. I was chasing it. In the sophomore year I did another one, and that's when I was throwing 90, and I kind of got a lot of attention out of it, and I got invited to the junior national. And when I went to the junior national, it's kind of when
So
like
junior nationals, what is
yeah,
that?
June. It's the top. I think it's the top 500 incoming juniors in the nation. And I went there and did my thing, and it was really good. Kind of blew up from there, and then I went to the All Star game, and I got my All Star invite from there, and that's when it just blew up. Because then I got my area code invite, and I just got a bunch from the junior national, and I'd say that's where like I got my recognition.
Took off from
Yeah,
there.
it took
Do you
off.
think it was good that your parents kind of protected you a little bit there?
Yeah, I think do whatever you want with like your kids or yourself, but it like kind of like just protects them and doesn't allow them to like get an ego. Like if I was 8 years old, like there's kids out there that are 8, 10 doing showcase. It's like no, just play the game. And I'm glad they kind of hid me from that stuff, because like it like kind of ruins confidence for a little kid. Like if I was like where I was then, like I was chasing this system, and if I was like 9 or 10 and I wasn't confident where I was at, it would have been different. Because you're a little bit younger, you don't really understand. You're not as mentally strong.
Sure.
And I do appreciate my parents like keeping me away from all that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. When you're talking about the showcase thought process and things, and you've played summer ball, you're playing high school ball. What are I love to ask this question, and I ask it of everybody in your position. What's the difference between high school baseball and summer baseball?
High school baseball is competitive, but it's not like honestly there's a difference in levels. Like in high school, you'll face some teams have 9 for 9 solid batters in their lineup. Some teams have 2 out of 9. You jump to summer ball, some of the cases are the same, but, some of the events you're going to, you got 10 really good batters. So it's the jump of consistency and like power and, contact and size, really speed, really every field there is. I think it's just the jump in, the average amount of players that are at that level. So,
Absolutely. There, do you take a different approach in the summer than in high school baseball?
um, not really. I use kind of everything I have the same. My mentality on the mound is just, go do your job and get past everyone. I don't really care who's out there against me. I just throw the ball.
Let's go. Right.
Yeah.
High school baseball. We're here, senior year. You guys, last year, you had a lot of the same guys. Um, you've had some pitching strengths. You've had some things this way. You're in the Central this year,
Mhm.
which is interesting. And I think it's probably, due to some of the enrollment numbers going
Yeah.
down a little bit. Um, I've heard a little hubbub that maybe it'll be Class 5. It's, I don't know where.
I have no idea.
It's
I think
hubbub,
yeah,
just hubbub.
yeah. I think we find out like a week into our season or something. Like
Yes, yes, you will. Yeah, which is kind of tough.
yeah, no, it's I'll, I want class 6. Like everyone wants class 6.
Everyone wants Class 6.
I think everyone.
Why is that?
You want to take down the top dogs. Like
You want
I, I want to take down the top dogs.
Now you guys have had a lot of talent over the last couple of years. What do you think is the difference this year than over those last couple of years?
Sophomore year was my first year on varsity, so like it was like a really huge age gap. We had seniors, juniors, and sophomores. With that group, we had like a really crazy pitching staff,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had some really good, like leadership roles. Like honestly, the McCaleb, the catcher, Carson, he was like the leader of the team, I guess you could say. And I think that's kind of like was one of the bigger things of that group. And then I just like that team. Um, sorry, I'm at like a loss of words.
That's all right.
That team was, we had a lot of skill. I just don't think we could like put the pieces together.
Yeah.
And then my junior year, which was last year, there was only like 5 or 6 of us that had varsity experience, and then only like 3 or 4 of us that played.
Mm-hmm.
So I think being the younger team is what got to us last year. And then like also like no like there was people that wanted to be a leader, and as a leader you got to fill every position. And I think a couple like I don't want to say me, Carson, and Hayden like are like the big guys, but like I feel like people kind of look at us
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like there was like things we all could have done a little bit differently to lead the team or help out a little bit better. But I think this year, now that we all have a lot of experience, we're not a young team, and now that we're older and more mature, I feel like with the skill we have and the skill, mentality, and leadership, it'll be a lot better than the last 2 years.
You got the dudes, Ogby,
Yeah, is it no? Yeah, Zay too.
Chiodini,
Yeah,
Post,
yeah.
Ramos, yourself.
Mm.
I mean, you guys. I think and I'm sure you guys sit and look at that and go, hey,
Yeah,
is there some of that conversation you're having within that group saying, some accountability to those things?
yeah. No, we have like a group chat. We talk a lot. We're really confident. We've been watching some of the other players. Like I'm not the coach, and so I don't pick the team in the roster. But
Right.
there's this guy at Timberland. He's a sophomore. His name's Parker Sansone.
Oh yeah.
He's a younger guy, and
Yeah.
I've been watching him up at
He has a
P3.
lot of confidence.
He's confident. That's for sure. But I've been watching him at P3. He's been putting in a lot of work, and he's got a lot of potential. And if he's on the team, like he's one of the spots we've been talking about. But like I said, we're not the coaches. We don't pick. So with the team that we do think we have, we've been talking a lot. Like I said, we're kind of happy with where we are.
Very good. Very good. So have you guys set goals for the upcoming year?
The goal is it's our senior year, so just honestly have fun and make it as long as we can. Like we're not trying to just get to the next game. We're trying to win it all. That's the mentality. You go home or get it all. So
District championship first,
no,
right?
we won it all. Yeah,
You want it all.
we won it all.
Okay. Well, there you go. Done. That's it. Drop the mic. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
What do you think, if last year, what do you think you'll miss the most about high school baseball?
Just playing with these guys. It's high school baseball. It's gone by so quick. You get 4 years, and when you're 14, 15 as a freshman, you think that's a long time, but it really goes by fast, and it's kind of sad. But I think the most part, I'm just gonna be missing some of my friends and getting to play on the field with them.
Sure.
We're all going to different colleges. A couple of the Timberland guys are going to the same schools, but like I don't get to do that. But I mean, I'm glad where I'm going. Like everyone's going to the spot for them, but it just kind of sucks that we all have to split different paths.
Will you stay in touch?
No, yeah, of course. Like we'll stay in touch, but the college level is really difficult. You're gonna have your days are full. So also just
Absolutely.
being far away from your guys, it kind of sucks, but that's just how it works.
It is how it works.
Yeah.
And so we'll finish with this conversation. Mississippi State University.
Hmm.
I'm we have a lot of, it's SEC, of course, Mizzou, and then that one. So why Mississippi State?
The recruitment was crazy, but everyone says the same thing. You get there, it feels like home, but it was really just the connection to like the coaches, and then honestly, like the fans, the family feeling. Like everyone there is so welcoming, and you're gonna go there and get your work in. You're in good hands, but it's also a good feeling to know that like you got thousands of people behind you. You look at them; they got like every record for attendance, and then also just supporters. I was just there on my visit, and you just have everyone greeting you and asking you like who you are and like what you're there to do, and it's really welcoming. They all arms open, like it's like a family. So it's the connection, the bond, and the love that you get from everyone.
Cool. I like that. It's in Jackson, Mississippi, correct? Or is it
Starkville.
Starkville?
Sorry,
Sorry.
Starkville.
Because I knew it was Oxford, is Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So it's Starkville. My fault. Sorry.
Ooh.
I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. What are the facilities like at an SEC program?
I went to a couple different ones. They got a lot of funding, so it's really crazy. It's crazy. But Mississippi's, it's the training facilities are huge. It's like it's really big. You got everything you need. You got more than what you need, honestly, 'cause that's just what they have the money. Like, just do it.
Right.
So you're you have everything. Like I don't know what to say. You have everything.
What is the stadium like?
The stadium's huge. It's soon. I don't know if anyone saw, but they're gonna fully enclose it soon. So like they just released plans to extend the deck, add a second like condo thing. I don't like. I should probably
Jeez.
explain first. Like there's a huge condo in left field, huge wraparound on the back side of the field, huge TV screen, not TV, scoreboard screen.
Mhm.
It's just
Which is a TV basically.
it's a big TV,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I saw some on Instagram the other day that they finally released the plans to extend it, like fully wrap it around, and not like the stadium alone, the field is nice, like it's like the softest grass I've ever stepped on. I remember on the visit we went out there and hit BP, and I was just out there like kind of enjoying the field. It was soft, it was nice, pretty.
Yeah.
So
Take us through your recruiting process. Who were the first people you talked to, and how did the process go for you?
the process is like really weird for the 25 class because we were the first year where that deadline came out.
Mm-hmm.
So before the deadline, I was talking to a couple of schools like Xavier, TCU, Louisville, a couple of like schools like that. And the deadline popped up and everyone panicked. And coaches were like, "Yo, like, what's it gonna take for you to commit? Like, we want you, we want you." Like everyone was saying the same stuff. Everyone was panicking because recruitment was shutting down until your junior year. But it didn't hurt us too bad because we were going into our junior year, but we still had that dead period. So the dead period happened, and you play baseball for 2 months over the summer, and then like towards the end, you get text messages. I think it's August 1st or somewhere in
Yeah.
August.
August 1st. Yeah.
And I just remember I remember we had area code like 6 days later, and I was about to get on a flight to go down, and I was like, I gotta stay up. I gotta see what my phone's like. And I remember at 11 o'clock, like I got like 10 messages, and I was like, oh my, I gotta stay up till 12. I stayed up later, and I got more and more. And I was like, I need to go to bed. So
I gotta play baseball.
I threw my phone, and I was like, I gotta go sleep. And I texted back all the coaches, and I was like, thank you I'm flattered, thank you, but I kind of want to focus on this outing, and then I'll get back to you. So I shut down my recruitment for like another week and a half after area code. I texted all the coaches back. I was like, thank you for waiting. Like I'm good to call now. And as I was talking to coaches, I realized like this is a lot. So I narrowed it down. Like now at this time I had Eric, who's my agent, and we kind of went through like a thing like, what do you want in a school? Like he's helping me, he's advising me, and we just went through a long list. And we kind of narrowed it down. I got it down to like 4 schools, and that's when I started like, all right, like hey, like thank you for reaching out, but I want to pursue something else. And I had my 4 schools, 3 or 4. I think it was 3 or 4. But I took visits to those schools, and I took my time. I really thought about it and built relationships with all the coaches. And I made my decision with Mississippi. So
What was the academic part of it like for you?
like I'm just a normal student. I'm not gonna lie.
That's okay, but
Like
everything is it's still academics. You got to
yeah, no,
deal with it,
I
right?
gotta deal with academics there. I'm just gonna do my schoolwork. I'm not really trying to be like a doctor or anything. I was gonna go there and get a business degree. So, I'm not like a low GPA guy. I'm not a high GPA guy. I'm right at 3.0. So like the academics on their side, they weren't really worried about my grades or anything. They just kind of asked me like, what am I looking for? And I was like, baseball.
Baseball.
I'm just looking at baseball. I'm
Okay.
going there to get a business degree with baseball.
Baseball. You have aspirations for the MLB?
Oh yeah, that's my dream. That's where I want to be.
Very good. Last thing here with you work with you listed off all the guys you work with pitching wise, a lot of the premier guys pitching for. How do you think they impacted you getting you to this spot? And do you think that will be something that will help you long term as you go into that program?
Yeah, premier pitching performance. They give you like so much utilities to use, like on the lifting and throwing side. The coaching alone is crazy. The advice too. So, like what they've done over three and a half, now 3.5 years, they've like shaped me into who I am. They've like showed me what it's like, what you need to do to get where you want to be, and if you want to be that, this is what you have to do. They've provided me with like really good programs on the lifting and throwing side, like I said. They've they've shaped me. Like they haven't like you do it yourself, but
Sure. Right.
they are the ones that help you get there. So
Here's the information.
yeah, like
Are you willing to do it?
yeah, no,
Right?
like we're gonna give you what you need. You have to do it though, kind of thing. So they're not like they give you what you need to be the best player you can be, and they're gonna turn you into a really good athlete. So that's what they did to me.
Very good. You going to carry that on when you go to Mississippi State?
Yeah, no, I think the routines they've put me into is really gonna help me at the next level.
Very good. Very good. Richie, I enjoyed the conversation, man.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure getting to
Thanks for
talk to you a
having me.
little bit more than I know. We did a quick interview at the end of the game the other,
Mhm.
and that game. You guys are going to play Central again, right? Are they on your schedule? Because man, they've walked you off a couple times,
No,
and you've
yeah,
walked them off a couple times.
no. I think we play them once actually, towards the beginning. I can look when I get home, but pretty sure we do play them once.
It's always a fun game.
Yeah, no,
It's always fun.
it's fun. We know a lot of people against them. I know the coach too, so he's a guy
Coach
at GBA.
Beckman?
Yeah, he's a guy at GBA. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Folks, Mr. Richie Swain, Timberland High School, Mississippi State commit. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please, if you like what we're doing, follow us. That's right. We're on X with this. We're doing exclusives. So this is on X. So you'll be able to. So make sure you hit the follow button. Follow us. I think that's what it is, right? Follow on X. Something like
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, share, repost.
Oh, there you go. Like, share, and repost. There it is. We appreciate that. That's my crack engineer over there. I'm an old guy, man. I don't know this stuff, right?
I don't know much about it either.
There you go. There you go. So thanks for tuning in. Check out the next available Player Spotlight exclusive right here on Youth Baseball Midwest. We do appreciate it. We'll see y'all next time.